I'm Shaan Hurley, and I'm here with Robert Green, a CAD consultant, and we're discussing CAD management issues, CAD standards. Robert, can you tell me about how to recognize people in your office, your superstar employees in the design floor, and how they make a difference in the design process and standards?
Absolutely. I mean, one of the things we're trying to do by imposing standards in the design process is we're simply trying to do things better. So one of the traps that a CAD manager can fall into is if you too rigidly enforce your standards, eventually you're going to stifle innovation. So we probably all have these kind of super power users, I like to call them, that are constantly trying to come up with better ways to do things. And a lot of times they find pretty cool things. And
Right.
The CAD manager is busy, and we have different platforms and different software titles to manage. So what I want to do is if I can find somebody who's able to do some of this kind of improvised innovation, I want to use that. And some of the methodologies I do is recognition. This can be anything from a Starbucks gift card to a small bonus. I put these people on stage. I let them teach lunch and learn classes. I give them full credit for all of their ideas, and I make sure the user base knows where this is coming from. So what I'm trying to do is make sure that I have an environment where people can come to me, and if they have a better way to do it, let's listen to that. Let's not stifle that by saying, oh, that's not the standard. Let's amend the standards if we can make them better.
That is a very important point to make. And if you just go in there with that bull in a china shop thing, you're either going to get people very angry and they're not going to adhere to it, like you said, or it's going to be a coup.
Yes.
A meltdown.
Or you can even lose key staff.
Or yourself.
Yeah. One of the things that I think for technical people who can innovate, who genuinely want to do something better, they feel a sense of process ownership. They're trying to do this to make the thing work better.
Right.
For the company, for the user base, for themselves, for their career, and for you as the CAD manager. So by all means, leverage yourself. Utilize people who can help you run things better. There's absolutely nothing wrong with saying, I don't know everything.
Right. And these are people,
Yeah.
sometimes the CAD manager isn't in the design seat 8-10 hours a day.
Correct.
So listening to those people that are in that 8 to 10 hours a day and feeling the pain points is the best way to come up with those standards. So
Absolutely.
that, because you may not understand what they're going through at the time.
That's right. So you use the scenario they're in. The only place where I've had difficulties in here is that we clearly have super power users, but we also sometimes have people who think they're a power user, but they're not. And they spend a lot of time trying to kind of, I call it noodling with things. Just kind of messing around with the software or changing things around to really no good end with no demonstrable gain in productivity. And so the hard thing for the CAD manager is finding out where that line is. How do you officially recognize innovation from people who are capable of it, but how do you impose standards on the great majority of folks who really do need to be kind of led and shown what the best process and practice is? Unfortunately, there's no clear answer for that. Other than just trying to reward good behavior and hoping that you get more and more power users come up over time. And by the way, this is how you leverage yourself.
Yeah.
This is how you get some help and how you keep from going crazy and pulling 60-hour weeks.
I can tell you that on the power users and the people that think they're power users, when I survey thousands of customers, it's usually 85% identify themselves as a power user, 10% medium users, and then the remaining. But it's pretty funny. You know that there's not 85% there.
Right. Well, you're probably a lot of people talking to you probably are more skewed up to the high end of the bell curve. But if you walk into just a traditional sticks and bricks construction type firm or a manufacturing shop, I think it's usually fairly easy to identify who those power users are. One of the key things I look for is, are they helping other users?
Right.
So if you see them as being a secondary line of support, chances are they're credible.
Yeah.
If people are coming to them to solve problems, then they probably are power users. It's not perfect, but
then you got the rogues going, you don't need to change the layers, just change the color, people. It's easier.
Yes. And
that's where we did. That's how we did it at our last shop.
Right.
Why do we need to do all these layers? We just need one.
Yeah. And is there a really good answer for that?
That's a management issue.
Yeah, that is a management issue, I think.
Thank you, Rob.
Thank you.